this section.
Well, unfortunately, I haven't prepared anything,
No.
but I'm happy to take any questions regarding to OREMA at this point. So I know I didn't allow for any questions. If you can remember back to that initial presentation. If not here, then I don't mind. You can always talk to me about that.
And one last sort of practical question: is there some board that moderates the entire website, or is it just your team here?
Well, I'm the only administrator. There's one other moderator who is Andrew Hill, but at the moment it's such a small community that it doesn't need a nice hierarchy at the moment. When it does expand, I'm hoping that more people come forward as moderators to help me in making sure the content is right for the site.
And everything you say is in a retrospective way. So if someone makes a change that is going to ruin part of the page, you can always revert back to a previous version. So somebody can't come in and trash it.
But at the same time, you can also see these revisions. So if someone makes a revision of an analysis, you can say, well, where did they come from? So you can go back and see the kind of journey that they took as well. Okay.
Will?
Yes.
Do you put any demographics on the website?
No, not yet. No. This, as I said, the initial stage, this first year that started in March of last year, was just a base, and I sent it out for, I think there's about 20 core participants, of which 5 are here today. I'm hoping to kind of go into that in the alpha stage, because that's going to be based in the social aspects of the OREMA project, which will hopefully, expand as it happens out.
You planning to have the opportunity for works to be uploaded, to be critiqued?
The actual music?
Yes.
I've avoided that at all costs, mainly due to the DRM surrounding that. If people were, for example, to say, I've uploaded a piece to SoundCloud and I want to, that way I can do links externally to that, but not actually host on the website, because it's under a Creative Commons license. So in that respect, anyone could take bits from it and then use it elsewhere. I'm sure many people probably don't want that with their pieces.
Sure. So you've got the SoundCloud embedded?
Well, it runs on, you can embed like YouTube videos, so SoundCloud's just the same. You go on SoundCloud itself and you can actually extract the embed information and then just put it into a page on the website and it'll work.
We can't self-publish all of it.
Yeah. It was just that idea of there being an active community, and you were saying about there being fans and people there, as well as the critique. It's that thing about sharing. And
I know, and it's just the music sharing I can't go into too much for various reasons. Yes, exactly. It would be nice to have that kind of functionality, but it's still a beta. If there's an opportunity in the future to try and do it in a legal sense, then I'll be happy to do that.
So how far is this a tool that can be used to, in context of brand new work? So if we have a student composer who created a work, wanted to put on SoundCloud and propose an analysis and invite, then how far is it inviting kind of debate and criticism around?
Sure. The criticism about the actual composition of the work, is that what you're...
Yes, or is it focused really on acknowledge the canon of electrons to music?
That's a...
We try to avoid that.
Yes. I didn't state this in the presentation, but for the beta purposes, I was actually suggesting compositions to be analysed, and some of the contributors actually said, well, I've done an analysis of this, can we put this on? I said, of course.
Yeah.
For new compositions, like some people have asked me this already, but I was a bit fearful in the beta stage before we went out into the public. I can perceive OREMA doing this, but I need to make sure I can frame it in the right way, because I need to make sure that the purpose of OREMA remains the same, which is a community discussing works and analysing them generally. But if people want to share their music and actually, as you said, put things on SoundCloud and then say, this is my work, I've analysed it myself, does anyone else want to analyse it? I don't really see, from my personal point of view, any major problem with that. Right. But I still need to make sure that the focus is on actual analysis and not on music creation.
Yeah. And in that sense, I was interested when we said you could go and correct an existing analysis, which suggests an analysis could be wrong.
Well, okay.
Or could I read an analysis and say, no, that for me is completely the wrong opinion.
Sure.
And there's an alternative opinion, and here's a completely alternative approach.
Okay. No, I understand. I think it was more from an author point of view. For example, when I don't know if anyone's experienced this, but when you write something down, I know I've done this as a student, and I've looked back and thought, what was I thinking? There's the option to amend anything after you've learned more about perhaps the piece from that initial point. It's not to say that it's wrong. It's just to say that the author's got that option to then amend anything.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's not, and it doesn't discount anyone else's. And going back to the point of the ethos, the Natty using point that there is no true analysis. Hopefully they just offer different perspectives. And Andy brought up the fact that his is like an overview of Steve, whereas mine was a very kind of detailed version of it. And hopefully they complement each other rather than discount the other in that respect.
Yeah.
Mike, is the toolbox of ideas it's just on a link, isn't it? You just go to that link and it says whatever, toolbox or something.
Yes, it's in that navigation on the left hand side, and it's just a little menu that pops up. And
are those ideas laid out in headings or something to go in, or are they?
Yes.
How are they found? Is it text? Or?
The toolbox itself is, I guess, a collection of, wiki articles, which then anyone in the project can alter. And when I say alter, try and form a consensus. It's a similar idea to Wikipedia. When someone uploads an information on Wikipedia, then everyone who's part of that community can then have their say, and little by little amend it until a general consensus is formed, which actually is never, I don't think, on Wikipedia, but that's something I'll encounter later, I'm sure.
Final question. Michael, did you want to come back?
Sorry.
Okay. We've creatively overrun by a few minutes, but even so, this is a 5-minute function break, a comfort break. Then into Pierre. While Pierre's setting up, do stretch your legs, whatever. 5 minutes. Thanks, Mike.